Hi guys, welcome to another Divi theme video. This is Jamie from System 22 and webdesignertechtips.com. We got a great one for you today. I've got a page here. When I refresh it, you're going to see a little pop-up pop up. It's going to stay there for 5 seconds. Then it's going to disappear again. Now we've shown you how to do these without plugins. We're actually using Divi Supreme Pro to do this today so we can put it on a timer. So let's just refresh this page. Once refreshed, after 5 seconds, you'll see a little pop-up timer. Pop in, there it is, it's a little countdown timer with a call to action button. After 5 seconds, I've got mine disappearing. And there we have it. Really simple to do, so let's get started. I'm going to enable my Visual Builder and undo what I've got going on here. Great. To make this work today, you've got to make sure that you've got Divi Supreme Pro installed and activated, and you'll see it down here. If you want to learn more about it, I've got a playlist down below this video, and there's also a link to Divi Supreme Pro. Once you've got it installed and activated, click on it. It's going to take you to this page. You want to make sure that you've got Enable Divi Pop-Up switched to on, so it's in the right-hand position, purple here. And also, Divi Library shortcodes, same thing. And if you've changed anything, make sure you hit your Save Changes button. It'll update everything for you. Great, well let's go back to this page. Okay, what we want to do first is create the actual pop-up that we want to pop up. And I want a little countdown timer with telling them that a sale is on, and a little call to action button that they can click to take them to that sale page. So let's add a new little section. I'm going to use a regular section. It doesn't matter too much where you put it on this page because we're going to delete it once we've saved it to the library. I'm going to put a single column in my row. And you can add whatever modules you want. I'm going to throw in a countdown timer. Let's get it going perhaps for a couple of weeks. You can set the hour and minute if you want to with a little slider right here. I'm going to leave mine just like that. Background. So make it a black. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to bring that opacity down just a little bit. You'll see it go grey because when you bring the opacity down, it's showing that white background through. Great. Well, I've got my little timer there. That's great. But I want them to be able to actually click on something to take them to this sale. Well, actually, let's just change that so it says sale in the content under the text. Whatever it is you want to say on yours. And to edit that text, you can edit everything in here. We're just going to hit the little paintbrush, take us to that heading text right there. I'm going to capitalize it. I'm going to make it bold. Just take it up a bit in size. Great. And so they got something to click on. I'm going to add a little button module underneath. Like I say, you can add as many or as few modules as you want to yours here. Let's say shop now or something. Obviously put the link to whatever page you've got your sale on right there, and we'll pop over to design. I just want to pop that button in the middle. That's really all I want. I'm going to give it all a dark background just to make it stand out a little bit more. So I'm going to save my button settings. I'm going to go back into the blue tab for the section. Background always under content. I'm going to make it black too. I'm going to pull the opacity down on it. That timer bit will be slightly darker because it's got its own color in there. That way when it pops up, you'll have a little hint of the website behind it. But of course, designed entirely up to you. Great. Well, when you're happy with whatever it is you want to pop up on your site, hit the save button. Now I'm going to go back up to that tab. I'm going to hit the little round icon just to the left of the trash can there. It's save to library, add a section to the library. And let's call it sale on, or whatever you want to call yours, obviously. And we'll hit the little save to library down there. Once saved, we can delete this section because we don't want it on the page. We just want it to pop up on the page when the page loads. Okay, now we can use anything on our page. You can use a button, you can use a module, we can use an image, anything on this page you can use to trigger this. So I'll just use this image right here. Now what I've got to do before this will actually work is refresh, because we've saved that to our library. If I was to try and add it as a shortcode now, this would not work. So I'm going to save my changes. And once saved, I can safely refresh this page. Now if we go back to the dashboard of Divi Supreme, this next part, make sure that you've done all this. Because if you haven't switched these on, these next part, this will not work. So let's go back to our page. And as I mentioned earlier, you can trigger it from absolutely anything on this site at all. Let me show you how. I'm going to use this particular image right here. So I'm going to click on the image, the dark tab for the image module. Go over to advanced. If we go down to visibility now, you'll see a little switch called use pop-up. If you have not enabled this on Divi Supreme Pro, you will not see that switch. So make sure you've done that. I'm going to flip it on. I want to pop out a layout from our library. So I'm going to leave it on layout here. You can iframe, image or video pop up. We've done videos on those before. And here's how we select it from our library. We just save that to our library. All the newest ones will be down the bottom. As you can see, I've got a lot saved in my library. There it is, Say Along we called it. I'm just going to click on that. Fantastic. Now you can trigger it on module click. So they'd have to click on this image and it would pop up. Buttons, if I was using a button module, I just move this across, you could trigger it from a button. You can do it from images, hyperlinks, by ID, by CSS. Page load's the one we're going to use today, but you can do it when they scroll down the page, or if exit intent, which is a great one, they move it up to their little X out here. We've done those before also. So I'm going to use mine on page load. And what that's going to mean is once the page loads, it's going to trigger that pop-up. You can also use these as cookie consents by flipping this on and filling it out, and we've done videos on that before. Now I want to auto close my pop-up, so I'm going to flip this switch to on. And I want mine to just remain up there for 10 seconds, let's say. So either use the slider or just type in whatever value you want. 10 seconds is 10s. I don't want it to actually pop up until about 5 seconds after the page is loaded. So again, you can slide, or you can just type in your value. Now cookie expiry, if you leave it on 0, every time somebody visits the page, it's going to pop up. You can change it by putting in your own value. For instance, 7 would be 7 days. I'm going to leave mine on 0, so every time I refresh, you'll see this for our demo today. There's all kind of different entrance and exit animations. I'm going to leave them all just as they are. Pop-up position, I want it center. Perfect. Want it to be absolute, so if they start scrolling up and down the site, it's going to stay right there. I'm not going to use full width. I find that 680 works on most devices. But of course, if you want to, like all things Divi, roll over the dark writing, you can have completely different values for tablet and mobile here if you want to set different widths. I do want to show an overlay that will darken out the website and enhance the pop-up a bit more. If you want to, you can change this color. Well, that works for me. We've got a little show close button. It's going to be inside our section that's going to pop up. And you can choose whatever icon you want here. It's an X by default, which is pretty usual for a close button. And of course, you can use a background and an icon color down here. Now we should be good to go if we've done everything correctly. So let's just save the changes. We'll save the page changes. Save draft or publish if you're ready. Now we can exit the visual builder. When it reloads, after 5 seconds, that pop-up should pop up. That little section we created, there it is. They can read it, they can look down, they can hit the button if they want to. After 10 seconds, it's going to disappear back out again. And they're free to browse the site. And like I say, you can do that on any page you want. If you wanted it to happen on all pages, you could build it into either a global header or a global footer. So if I refresh again, and 5 seconds, and that little pop-up should pop up again. Now remember, if I change that cookie consent, this wouldn't happen again until that next date that you've put in. And 10 seconds, back out again. Fantastic. Let's have a look on tablet and mobile. I'm going to hit my F12 key. Here we are on iPhone 12. I just refresh this again. And 5 seconds. Perfect. And when it gets to the 10 seconds, you know what's going to happen. And let's just flip that over to an iPad. And you know it's going to work on an iPad if it's working on a phone. And 5 seconds. Perfect. Now on all these devices, it shows you these great graphics on how it's going to look on an iPad Air and an iPhone and what have you. Let's get rid of that. Always check these on the real device if you can. This will get you close to Divi Builder, but it's always going to need a little bit of tweaking on those devices, especially as there's so many different screen sizes nowadays. So there you go, guys. There's how to create a pop-up with a countdown timer and button using the fantastic Divi Supreme Modules plugin. Like I say, I've got a playlist down below. Check it out if you'd like to learn more. So thanks for watching. Have a great day.